This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, before we start with the class, let me explain the data which I've sent to you. This is a data which is having for the pivot table. So you have already learned how to do a pivot table. So now what we are going to do here is we have a data. Using this data, okay, using this data, we are going to create a pivot table, pivot chart, and the dynamic dashboard. So these are the three things which we are going to create. Okay, so in this class we are going to discuss about pivot table, pivot chart, okay, dynamic dashboard. With this dashboard you are going to learn about the slicer, how to use a slicer, data connection. So these are the things which we are going to do in this full class. Okay, so now look here, I have a sales for the year 1819 and for the 1920. Okay, I have a sales which has happened for the year 1819 and 1920. 2 years data I have for the brands which is like Nike, Puma, Adidas, Maxay, Reebok, like this. We have a sales. This sales has happened in a showroom. Okay, so whichever it is, so in every week, in each and every month, the first week, second week, third week, how much sales has happened, in which region is sales has happened, and what is the state, if it is a state, in which city, and then we have the customer's name who all made up sales, I mean to whom we made a sales, the quantities, and finally the total amount of sales. Using this we are going to create a dashboard. So I've opened the pivot table sheet. Now, since this data, see, if you have a small data, you can create a dashboard in the same place. But I have a data in a different place. See, the data size is more. I have more than 28,000 of rows here. Okay, more than 28,000 of rows I'm having. This rows of data, I cannot create a table or chart in the same sheet. So what I will do is, I will create in a next sheet. I'll go for this insert. Okay, we will add one more sheet here. So you can try simultaneously along with me because this is a lengthy process. So in between, if we skip also, you will have a problem. So please try along with me. I'll also give you one minute a gap in between. Few minutes I'll give a gap also. Okay. So I've created a sheet here. Sheet 2. In sheet 1, I have a data. So everyone create one sheet. Okay, so here after creating a sheet, I'll go for this insert. In a new sheet, go for the insert. I have an option here as insert pivot table, insert the pivot table. Now table or range, where do I have a data? Table or range, where I have a data, we have it in sheet 1. Select sheet 1. Okay, so we have to select this entire data which is not happening. So what I will do is, we will go for the sheet 1. Before going to sheet 2, place, everyone come to the sheet 1. Place your cell somewhere on the data, anywhere you can place it. Okay, but it must be within this table. After placing, now go for pivot table. See, now the entire data is been selected. You can see this moving lines, right, dancing lines, you can see. Full table has been selected, right, full table has been selected. Now where you are going to create this pivot table in a new
Ma'am, can you repeat?
worksheet.
How did you select the whole table, ma'am?
Okay, place your cursor anywhere inside the data. Okay, place your cursor anywhere inside the data. After placing it, then go for this insert tab. Okay, go for this insert tab. You have an option as pivot table. Click on this pivot table. Okay, by default your range will get selected. You are not going to select it. By default it will get selected. You can see the range. So it is 1 a dollar. See here, one sheet 1 a1, a1 with the dollar symbol, k 28,604. So this is the table which has been selected. Now choose where you want to create this pivot table. So where you want to create, are you going to create a new worksheet or existing worksheet? I'm not creating on this actually. So, but still I'm going to choose as an existing. Now I'll go for sheet 2. Everyone select this existing worksheet. Okay, the cursor will come to the location. Now click on this sheet 2. Sheet 2. See, you can see the sheet 2. Select this A1, the first cell. Select the first cell. Then click on OK. You have to get like this. The screen you will get. Done? Are everyone getting this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now see, this is how you are going to select the fields. So you have a setting option here. The look of your fields, however you want to select, you can select it from here, whichever you feel easy. So I'm choosing here the field section and the area section side by side. This I'm selecting. So it is your wish, whichever you want to select, you can select it. Now, after selecting this, these are the list of your headings in your table. See here, we have the fiscal year, brand, week, month, region, state, city, and customer name, amount, and quantities. The same thing has been listed over here also. First thing, we will create some kind of small type tables, and then we will create the dashboard. Now I want to see the list of brands, how much sales has happened. List of brands. Brands, you just need to drag this brand. Click on the brand, drag this to the rows. You can see the brand's name here. After this, now I will select the total amount to the values. Total amount to the values. So these are the total sales which has happened. Done everyone? Now,
Yes,
this
ma'am.
is showing in a blue color. Let's change this design. Okay, let's change this design. You can click inside this. You have an option here as design. Go for this design. Choose whichever the color you want it. See, you have a light colors, medium colors, as well as the dark colors. Whichever you want, you pick whatever it is your color. Okay, however you want, you can pick it. I'm picking the medium. Okay, I'm picking the medium. This one I've selected. Okay, but this is a small table. Now let's create one more table also. I'll create one more table now. Again, let's go for the sheet 1. Place your cell somewhere inside here, inside the table. Again, go for insert, pivot table, pivot table. Say again the range is getting selected. Same option, existing workbook, location, go for the sheet 2. I'm placing my cell here under D1 and I will click on OK. So till here if you are done, I'll click on OK, or I'll have to show you once again, I can show you. Okay, no one is responding, so I'm clicking on OK. Done. So another pivot table we are going to create. Now this time I'm going to create same thing, brand under rows, but I also need the total sales that has happened in each and every region. So I'm dragging the region to the columns. Region to the columns. Then the total amount to this sum of sum of amount, values to the values I'm dragging. But what is happening here is the amount is too big. See, row labels, you have a list of brands. In a row label, you have a list of brands. In column label, I have the list of zones. See, list of region. In this, there is something which is blank. I don't want this blank. I will remove this. I will remove the field blank and I'll click on OK. So the blank has been removed. But still, see, when I click outside, this fields will go. Again, when I click inside, I'm getting this. But still, this amount is too much for me. I want to show it in a percentage wise. I would like to show this amount in a percentage wise. See, listen carefully and try to do this with you. Okay. Values. Under values, you have sum of amount. You have a option here, drop down. Right? Click on this. Click on this arrow mark. You have an option here, value field settings. Value field settings. Select this. Now I want to show this amount not as an amount. I'll click here, sum of this amount, but I want this amount to be shown on as a grand total, percentage of grand total, percentage of grand total. So it's here. Finally, end of this. So east, north, south, west, total sales this much. So 100% sales, how much it has happened, you are getting here. Let me show you once again. You have to click on this drop down option, value field settings. Okay, so now you have here summarize value by show values as. Okay, show values as. I'm clicking on this show value as. Here, show values as, select it as percentage of grand total, then click on OK. After this, click on OK. If you click on OK, then automatically the grand total percentage you're getting over here. So now let me change the design again. So I'll go for this design. I'll pick some color. So I always choose from the medium. It is your wish, whichever you want, you choose it. I've selected here. I've selected some color. So whichever you want, you choose it. So this color designing, it is totally your wish. Whichever you want, you take it up. Now, let's do one more. If no one has a doubt, then I'll create a new one. Anybody has a doubt, you can say me if you have any doubts. Anybody has a doubt? Okay, fine then. No one is answering me. So again, let me go for sheet 1. I'll place my cursor somewhere inside. Insert, pivot table, existing worksheet. Location, I'll go for sheet 2. I'll choose here as L1. L1 and I'll click on OK. Here, I'll only do two things. In a filters, I'll put the year. I'll put the year. Under the filters, I'll put the year. Then brand in my columns and the region in a rows. That's all. Region in the rows. Okay. If not, you can just remove this region also. I don't want this region. If I don't want this region, you just drag and remove back. Okay. If you are not able to remove this region, then just click on this arrow mark. Remove field. If you do, it will get removed. So brand I have, then I'll select this total amount, or now this time we will select the quantity. I'm selecting here the quantity, sum of quantity. But I don't want the sum of quantity. I want to know the average sales of this quantities. Average sales of this quantity. I'll click on this drop down option, value field settings. You have to go for value field settings. Select this as average. Average of the quantities, number of quantities sold. I'll click on OK. OK, done. Now see here, these are the average sales. But this average sales also I wanted to show in percentage wise. So what I will do, again, value field settings, show values as percentage of column total or row total. So percentage of row total, I'll click on OK. So 100% you have. So you have Adidas, Max, Nike, Puma, and this one. The average sales overall 100% you're getting here. Okay. If you want to show in some other method, again go for value field settings, show values as the percentage of row total or parent total, whatever you want. You can choose anything from here. Okay. So I'll just go with this percentage of column total. Now we will see. See, everything is 100%. But instead of this, I'll choose here as the same thing, the previous one, what I've chosen. Percentage of grand total. Click on OK. Now this is 100%. So you are getting the total sales. Okay. So now the same thing. Instead of this, I'll remove the quantity, remove the field, bring the amount here. Amount also I wanted to show in a percentage. Value field settings, show value as here, percentage of grand total. Click on OK. So you're getting a percentage of grand total, how much sales has happened. Now let me change the color. I'll go for the design. So under the medium, I'm going to pick this time the green color. Okay, some color I've chosen. So your wish, whichever the color you want to go, you can go. So till here, if you are done, please let me know. Then I'm going to start the next one. Anybody has a doubt? See, if you people don't respond,
No,
then I'll
ma'am.
not
None, ma'am.
understand. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Now, the last one more pivot table we will insert. Okay. So now again, we will go for the sheet 1. In the sheet 1, I'll place my cursor here. Inside the data, insert, pivot table, existing worksheet, location, I'll go for sheet 2, but I'm placing here under below this table. So some 2-3 lines I'm giving. Okay, 2-3 rows I'm giving a space, and then I'm inserting a pivot table. I'll click on OK. Now my pivot chart has been inserted. I'll give a filters for my fiscal year. Okay, so brand, I'll put it under columns, and region. So instead of region, I'll take a state and I'll put it under rows, the total amount of sales in the values. But this table is too much for me. So what I will do, I'll take this brand to the row, state to the column. Now see this is how I'm getting a data. Okay, if you want the columns also for a region, you can bring the region also to the column. Okay, you can see here. So and then in the columns I don't want to see the any other things. In that case you can remove here, but I'll remove this region anyhow. We already have a data, so I'm removing it. So brand, state, sum of the amount. This amount, value field setting, I'm going for this value field settings. Show the value as, so percentage of column total. Okay, so everything is having 100% sales. So instead of 100% sales, we will go for row total. Percentage of row total, click on OK. So everything you are getting here. Okay. See, now in case if I want to see the top five state which is having the highest sale, the top five state which is having a lowest sale, in that case, what should I do? I'll go for this column label. Column label. You have an option here, value filters. So you have something here, top 10. Select this top 10. So I don't want top 10. I'll give here as top 7. Top 7. Okay. So now the total sum of amount, how much they have got. Okay. Okay. So these are the top 7 set which has made the highest sale.
Ma'am, could you
Okay.
repeat that part?
Yeah. I'll repeat once again. Go for this. You have this column label. Column label is nothing but your states, list of states which you have given. You have a values as filters, right? You have here value filters. In this values filter, the last option you can find a top 10. Top 10, click on this. If you want the top 10, give it as a top 10. If you want top 5, top 6, top 7, that also you can do. Or in case if you want to change to bottom also, you can change to bottom. Top level you want or the bottom level you want, that you can decide it. So I'm giving here top 7 states which has made the sales, highest sales I want to see. Then I'll click on OK. So I have here the top 7 states, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this total you have here. Did you all do this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'll change this design color. I've used blue, orange, and green. So let me select this time yellow. I'm selecting yellow. All these things I've made it 1 1. See, if you want to close this, you can close it. In order to bring back again, you have a pivot table analysis and you have an option here as fields list. If you click on this field list, again you will get this. Okay. Now, next thing what we are going to do is, based on our data, we are going to create a pivot chart. I'll click on this. Okay, click on this pivot table which you have inserted, the first one, first table. Then you have here pivot chart. Under pivot table analysis, you have a pivot chart. Select whichever the chart you want. I'll go for pie chart. If you want the donut, you choose the donut. Whichever you want, you can choose how you want. Okay, so okay, let me choose this one. 3D pie you want or donut you want, you choose it. Okay, I'll choose a donut and then I'll click on OK. You got this? I'll just bring this down. I'm just bringing this down and I'll reduce this size.
Ma'am, could you
Okay,
please repeat pivot chart?
okay, let me do again. You have to place your cursor, place your cell inside the table, the first table, first chart. Go for insert, go for insert, or you can also go for pivot analysis. You have a pivot chart here also. Even in an insert also you have a pivot chart. Anything you can choose. Choose this. Then I'll go for this pie. I'll choose this pie chart, the first chart itself. I'll click on OK now. I'll click on OK now. So I'm getting the data here, the chart based on the list of brands. Are everyone getting this? Now drag this and place it below the table. Click, drag and place it near anywhere. After inserting a chart, if you want to change the color, say you have this designs, how you want to display your chart, that you can select it. If you want to change the color of your pie chart, you can choose the color here. So I'm choosing this first one itself. Okay, first one. After this, click on this plus. You have a chart title. Chart title, you have this total, right? Chart title, you want centrally, you want more options. Okay, so I'll keep this chart title on the center above the chart, but this total I'll rename to here brand wise sales, brand report. Okay, brand sales. Anything you want to keep, you just rename it however you want. So I'm giving here as brand sales. Then again, I'll click on this plus data labels. So how much sales has happened? This, if you want to give data labels, you can give wherever you want. Okay. So I'll use this data collat. I'll use this data call out. Okay. Go for this data labels. After clicking on this plus data labels, click on this data call out. Okay. Then again, you have one more thing here as a legend. In a legend, this one brands, list of brands where you want to give, I want to give it under bottom. I will place, I'm going to place this brands under bottom. Done. Okay, after doing this, now the next work is we'll go for the second pivot chart. Go for the second pivot chart. Okay, now after selecting this, I'll again insert a pivot chart. I'll take it as column itself, cluster column. Okay, by default it shows me as cluster column. I'll pick that. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm bringing here below this, again next to this I'm placing, next to this pie chart only I'm placing this. After placing this, now what I will do is under the design I'll choose the color different. I'm going to choose the color different. I'm picking this one. I'm picking the colorful palette 4. Colorful palette 4 I'm choosing. Okay. So this, if you want to give any background, anything you want to give, that you can give. See, for this predefined one I've chosen, but for the first table we have not given any background. If you want to give a background color, go for this format. Okay, shape fill. So under shape fill, I'm just choosing here as, okay, which color we will go. Okay, already there is, I'm choosing here as the yellow. Under format, I've just chosen this light yellow color. Done. Table is also inserted. Okay, let me do one thing. If I'm going to filter here some data, see, I want to see only Max Air and Puma. I'll click on OK. This two table is not having a change, as only here I'm having a change, right? So we will do one more thing. I'll select all. I'll click on OK. Next step, if you want to apply the filters for this, you can do it. But anyhow, I have the same thing of the brand sales, but only here I have a differences financial year. We always filter using these labels which we want to do. We have the drop down list. Using this drop down list only we will filter. This is a one more method, but I have something a new method which we will go for the insert tab. Go for the insert tab. Okay, before going to insert tab, place your cell inside the some chart. Okay, I'm placing my cell inside the third table which I've inserted. Now I'm going for insert tab. I have an option here as slicer. So when I place after placing only, you will get this. In case if I'm placing my cell outside somewhere, when I click on slicer, I'll not get the information. So you have to place inside the data. So I'm placing inside the third table. I'll click on slicer. I'll take this as year. I'll click on OK. I'll reduce the size. I'll bring here below this. I'm just placing here. See, the difference why I'm showing you here is, now when I click on this 1819, there is no changes. When I click on 1920, there is no changes. But see here in the table, when I select 1819, see the changes. 1920, see the changes. But it is happening only for those two. Here it is not happening. I want this changes to happen not only in this table which I have inserted, for all the other tables along with the chart also the changes must happen. To do this, what we will do is, I'll remove the filters. If you have selected something here, I'll remove these filters. Now, after selecting this slicer, you have an option here, one new tab, you got it as a slicer. Click on the slicer. Everyone, click on the slicer tab. You have an option here as report connection. Report connection, I'll select this. Select all the four tables. Select all the four tables which we have inserted in sheet 2, then click on OK. Now see, if I select 1819, the data is changing here both. If I select 1920, here also it is changing. If I remove the filters, again the data will change. Here also it will change. So for that, we use a filters which is slicer. Everyone done till here? Now we will insert one more slicer. I'll just bring this down a bit down. This also, I'm placing this. I'll also um, place it in this on the top. Okay, let me place this on the top itself. Now next one, again I'll place my cursor in one place, any of the data. We will go for insert, then slicer. This time I'm picking for the brands. I'm selecting brands. Okay, select the brand, then click on OK. For the brand, you're getting a list. Okay, I'll just increase this size. Now what I will do is, I'll change some color. Slicers, under the slicer tab, you have a color. And here column 1 it is showing me. I'll increase to 3, 4 and then 5. For all the 5 brands I've increased like this. I'll put it like this below this. Now we'll come back here. I'm just arranging this. Okay, I'm just arranging the table. So I'll put it here, this below this. Now I'm placing here. I'll increase the size of this also. Done. Properly, I'm increasing it. I'm just arranging everything one below the other without any this thing. So it is your wish how you are going to arrange. You arrange it. So now I have arranged like this. But see, if I select this max air, only this is selecting, but this is not changing. I'll select a Nike, only this is changing, but not this one. Reebok, only this is changing, but not the other one. So what we have to do, we'll remove the filters. We are going to do a report connection. Again, select the slicer tab, go for report connection, select all your tables and click on OK. Now, whenever you select anything, it will change. See, since pi, I'm selecting only one that it is showing me. If I want to select 2, 3, I'll hold a control key. Then I'll click on the brand which I want to see. So only those three will be displayed here. If you want to remove the filters, you can remove the filters. Done.
Ma'am, could you repeat this step?
Okay. You want me to, the selection process you want me to repeat?
Ma'am, the slicer option report connection.
Click on the slicer. Okay, before that, the slicer which you have inserted, you have to select that. Then go for the slicer tab, report connection, give a tick mark for all the tables. Give a tick mark for all the tables. Then click on OK. So when you have collected all the tables, so whatever you are making a changes in the slicer, it will affect for all your tables also. If you want to remove this, now see only Adidas, Maxer and Reebok has been selected. So those report you can see here both the places. Now I'll select only 1819. So 1819 only it is showing. 1920 only 19 and 20. If I remove the filters, I'll remove the filters here also. So everywhere I've removed the filters. I'll just drag this till here. Okay. Now my next one more slicer I will insert. Okay, one more slicer. I'll select the second table itself. We will go for insert slicer. I'm choosing here as region, and I'll click on OK. Okay, now see here, I'm getting all the list of brands here, list of region. Now in this list of region, the blank is I've already removed. I don't want the data of blank, so I've already removed, so it is showing in a white color. I'll just adjust the size till here. Okay, and let me change the color to some color, whichever you want you can choose it. So you have many colors here. I'll choose some color here. Done. Now after this, again the report connection, same thing. We will go for report connection, select all the tables, click on OK. Done. The last step, again one more table, the last slicer based on the state. I'll select this, insert slicer, states I'm selecting, click on OK. Okay, this one I'll just increase this. And since I have a lot of states, so many states here, I cannot drill down and drag it up again and again. So what I will do, I'll increase the column 2, column 3, column 4. So 4 columns I've done, so I'm getting all the states here. Okay, say there are few states which is hidden because we have applied here top 10, top 15 states like that. So because of that, let me drag this below. Below this, I'm placing here. Okay. So now,
Ma'am, how did you
the
make column 1, column 2?
In the slicer tab, you have here column. See, can you see here? I just added here.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so if you want to increase this again, you can increase it to 5 6. Yes, you can do it. 5, I'm doing 6. This also you can do. Okay, I just made here. So I'll bring this below down some more. Now here I'll insert one more chart. I'm going to insert one more chart based on the state wise. Based on the state wise, I'll select here pivot chart. So area is this one. I'll go for this column chart. Then let me drag this down. Okay, I'll put it like this. So these are the sales that has happened in each and every this. Okay, since this is making more problem, now what I will do is I'll remove this here. I'll put it this down, and in this place I'll bring the state. So since I've already increased the state 6, I'll make here to 2. 2, let me bring like this, or let me make it 3, or 2 is better. Okay, 2 is better, I think. Now I'll just drag this and place it next to this. After placing, I'll just increase the size till here. Now this one here, I'll bring it below this, and the region also below this. Two columns is fine. Region, I'll make this into, okay, we will put it here. I'm just going to put this here next to this. I'll make it into 2 columns. Just some kind of adjustment for my dashboard creation. So however you want to adjust it, you can adjust it. And this region again I'll increase 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Adjust this size. So let me reduce the size and show you what is there, how I've done. So this is what I've done. I've inserted my pie chart, column chart, bar chart, and I have inserted some slicers. Okay, this slicer I'll increase the size till here. And for state, I'll give a color. I'll change some color, blue color I'm giving. And for the financial year, I'll change to orange, pink, or let me give it as gray. Okay, yellow I'll give. Then this is green. So some 4 colors we have used. For this bar graph, I'll give some background color. Okay, let me go for the format, shape fill, and for this, I'll pick a color of, let me go for more fills. I'll choose a light green. Okay, done. This is how I've given. Okay, after doing all these things, now if I do any changes somewhere here and there, this is going to move, this will move. I can drag anything to somewhere else. So instead of this, instead of moving this here and there, I want to make all the slicers, charts, everything together. So I'll give you 2 minutes or 5 minutes. I'll give you. If you have any work to be done, please get it done. So that now I'm going to show you one more method. What we are going to do now. So if I arrange something, so this is going to move here and there. So instead I'll do one thing. I'm going to make all these charts into one single box. So though I've inserted everything separately, I'm going to group this into one category. So to group this, before I start, I want everyone to finish whatever you have. So I'll give you some 5 minutes. So it is 7:32. By 7:35, please make it. So 3 minutes. Anywhere you are going to make an adjustment, please do it. So then I'll tell you what you have to do. I hope everyone have done this. Now what I'm going to do is I'll go for insert. I'll select this shapes. Insert shapes, and I'll select this rectangle rounded corner. I'll select this. Now I'm going to draw on all this data what I have done. Let me adjust this rounded one. I'm just clicking on dragging. This yellow point, the more you reduce, the more you can increase. So I just want a bit rounded so that I have adjusted. But after drawing on this, I cannot see the data what I've given behind this, right? So what I will do, I'll click on this. See, after the shape format, automatically you will get a shape format tab. I have to click on this send backward. So one data I got, again send backward, again, again, again. As many times you click, that many times your data you will get it back. Now what I'll do, since I want to make all this together as one thing, so this I don't want this background as a blue color, and I'll select this shape, click on this shape format, I'll make it black. So this looks a bit good. Now what I'm going to do is I'll hold a control key. So you can try along with me. I'll hold a control key. So this I've selected slicer. I'll select this chart, this chart, this chart, all the slicers, chart, or everything you have to select, including the shape which you have inserted. Hold a control, click on everything. Click on everything, you do it. You need to click on everything, whatever the data you have. After selecting this, now after this, go for the shape format. After selecting everything, go for the shape format. At last, you have something called here as group. Click on this group. Now see, this is becoming as one picture. If I make this as ungroup, okay, now I can drag this separately. I can drag this separately. So this I don't want to happen. So because of that, I'll click on the shape, control, select on the first slicer, chart, everything one by one. I'll select everything and I'll click on OK. After doing everything, after selecting everything, now I'll go for the shape format and make this into group. Done. Now see, if I select anywhere, see here only this is changing but not this. That means I would have not made a report connection for this. I'll go for the slicer report connection. So I have not selected here. Done. Now see, whichever the state I'm selecting, all the three data is changing. Let me hold a control. I'll select some 2 3 states. Now see, for that data you're changing here. So let me remove some states. So I have only 5 states. For 5 states I have a report. 3 states, 2 states. Okay. So everything will happen based on the data you are selected. Now I'll select only 18 19. I want Adidas, Max Hair, and Nike. These three I don't want. I only want a Puma and Reebok. So Puma and Reebok I'm having here, and the total sales. See, and again I'll select here as I need it from the central, east, west, south. Okay, so whichever you want, you can select it. If you remove the filters, you can remove here. You have an option clear filters. Clear filters. I'm clearing the filters with the state. I'm clearing the filters with the this thing also. So like this, if you want to build a dynamic dashboard, you can build a dashboard. Do anyone has a doubt? Anybody has a doubt?
No, ma'am, I'm clear.
Okay. So in this, we have done a slicer, grouping we have done. Okay. So we have done with this pivot table, pivot chart, dashboard we have created. In the dashboard, we have created a slicer and the data connection. So this, using this, you can create one dashboard however you want. So now see, this is moving because I didn't group. Now see, finally when I click outside, now I can do this. So how you want to create your dashboard, you can create it. Go for shape format, group. So if you want to ungroup, you can ungroup. If you want to increase, you can increase. Okay, so background color, if you want to change, you can change. For C, so I'm just selecting this slicer, only this first slicer. I'll go for the slicers. Here you have a coloring option. If you want to create a new coloring format, go for this new slicer style. Click on this. Okay, so now, so over selected item with no data. So this is how you have a preview. See, now I'll select something here. Over selected item with the data. This item, this one I'm selecting. I'll click on this format. We will go for a fills. Which color you want to choose, those colors you can choose. Okay, so instead of choosing here, I'll go for this fill effects. Here I'm going to choose the color. I'm going to choose the color. See here, I'm selecting here as color, whichever the color I want. From the corner you want, from the center you want, you can decide how you want it. Then I'll click on OK. I'll click on OK. If you want one more color to choose, you can choose like this. So I'm choosing a blue color. Okay, I've done. Again, OK. So this one, see, selected cell will be like this. If you want like this, however you want, you can select it. So I'm going here. Give the name for your own slide. So give any name. I'll give it as demo and I'll click on OK. Okay. Now see here, I will be having a list custom. So selected one will have the color. See. So if you place there, you will have those colors. If you remove it, it will be showing in white color. So however you want, you can give it. So I want everyone to finish this and send me a screenshot on a WhatsApp group. I'll give you 2 minutes. You can just send it to me on WhatsApp group.
Ma'am, could you show the last part where we did the new style?
See the colors you asked me, right? So you have to go for this slicers, new style, choose whichever the color you want and go for the format, then choose the color. Okay, choose the formatting whichever you feel like. After choosing that, go for OK, and before that you have to go for format and then choose the color. Fill effects, I'll choose here as red, and here I'll choose it as orange. From the center, then I'll click on OK, again OK, then again OK. So I'll apply this. See, whichever you want, you can apply this. I'll remove the filters. Okay, try this. I'll just get back to you. Did you all try to do? So no one has sent me anything. Very bad, yeah. I was expecting someone
Sending,
will
ma'am.
send. Okay, let me see. Good. So I'm giving you one task for today. That is, you will go for a web page, Google, check for some data, sample data on sales, sample data on distributions or COVID, any data. Go and search some data, download it, some small data, download it. On that data, create like this some kind of dashboard. Use any kind of slices, like any color for slices, charts, whichever you want, you can apply it. After applying the slices and charts, create a one dynamic dashboard and send me the screenshot on our WhatsApp. That is your task for today. So anyhow, that's all for today also. So let's discuss if you have anything. Do you have any doubts?
How we have to download that data, ma'am?
Just go for the Google Chrome, search for something like sample data of sales, okay, or HR report, anything. See, you will get here. Okay, so I'll suggest you can go with this kaggle.com. Kaggle.com is a very good website where you will get data. That is here you have an option here, sales data sample, download it. But this is in CSV format. Okay, so anything you check it out in an Excel format. I'll give it a sample data of sales in Excel. And Excel, see, free Excel sample example data set for spreadsheet. So you will get like this, any data set, you download it based on any topics, then you create some dashboard. You try to search. If you're not getting, I'll send you one new, some another files also. Based on that, you can create. But I want you to try. I'll see till
Okay, ma'am.
tomorrow. If not, then I'll give you one sample data. Clear, everyone? Okay. So, anyhow, bye everyone. Take care. Enjoy. Good night, everyone. That's all for today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, ma.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night, ma'am.
Good night.